What's up, everyone? I guess we're now back on part two. Sorry for the wait. Squaw's over here, by the way. He's right next to me. But yeah, Squaw, what are the questions you got now? Ooh, oh, I like it. We're starting with vibe first. Why do you want to mention vibe so much, Squaw? Like, what, like, itches you to mention vibe? Ah, I get it. They're very itchy. They're very, arrogant. Yes, 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 yes. I agree with you, Squaw. I agree with you on that one, by the way. Anyway, what I'm gonna say here is, there's been a lot of things that have happened with Vibe, to be honest. I know it's not part of MOF, and I think Greg Burns probably gonna fine me for talking shit about Vibe. But honestly, I don't really care. I mean, give me the fine. To be honest, like, I want to take my shit out about Vibe, and I'm gonna do it. Anyway, with that said, Vibe, there's been a lot of things that happened. I returned to Vibe back in April, a couple months back, um, after I left, like, God knows when, like over a year ago before then, which was probably like January of like 2024, probably February, when I like completely abandoned the place. And then people were like, is Answer just gonna return like in a couple months and try and get himself back in? Or is he gonna just like never return, Like people at Vibe were like questioning for a while, but eventually those questions I think started to fade as time went on. It's been so long, some people even forgot about me. That's how long it's been since I've been to Vibe, you know. It's been a year and a half almost, actually. Um, and yes, I went back in April. I was only there for 20 minutes. I was going to resolve a conflict with someone there. I'm not going to say his or her name, but yeah, otherwise I'll get sued. But I was going to resolve a conflict with this person, and this person, obviously wasn't in the picture at the time. I was only there for 20 minutes, so I couldn't really get a whole lot done, you know? Like, as if I stayed there for like an hour and a half or something, you know? So, what basically happened is I had this weird conversation with manager Kelsey. Then I was escorted out of Vibe, and pretty much since then I haven't gone to Vibe again. Uh, I was initially going to go to EOS, or you know what that means, end of school celebration. That's what I tend to abbreviate by. So they're okay with abbreviations. It's always cool to abbreviate, but what happened was they they saw the shitty reviews I put on their Google page. But honestly, I mean, I can't blame them. Their church is really a bad place, bro. So honestly, I'm not even gonna cut it all. I know you, Squad. I know what you're saying, man. Are those reviews legit? Yes, they are. They are legit, and every single one is literally legit, and all of them know it. Anyway, so what I was saying here is, right before EOS, I had this weird meeting with Kelsey again about, I don't know, just like what's next for me at Vibe. What's next? Am I still going to go to Vibe, or am I just going to be put on hiatus for even longer than I should have been? Uh, the answer to that question is I'm still on hiatus. I'm still idle at Vibe. I don't. I still have a status there, but most people don't really remember it, and most people don't really care. So I still have a status with Vibe. I'm just not like actively there. You know what I'm saying? Like, apparently they never removed my name, which I find to be very weird. It's been like a year and a half, and they still have not like ever removed my name, which I find to be really dumb, considering they don't even want me there. Like, like they want shit with me now, right? It's weird. Um, but yeah, uh, honestly, I don't think I really see myself going there legally for at least a good another few months, if not maybe even another year. Um, by that point, I'll probably be a little too old, or I'll have very little time left at Vibe if I do go. But honestly, I think a lot of people on MOF in the locker room, because I've actually asked people around for advice on like, should I just go to Vibe like not legally and like kind of just break in, or should I just kind of like wait this out a little bit and then break in, or like what should I really do here? And I feel like a lot of people said break in and show your true self, which I actually kind of believe in. If I even have the guts to at this point, I actually kind of believe that atrocity and that agreement. I think that actually be useful, because I feel like what's happening now, or the way I see it, I'm gonna show my face. The way I see things here is Vibe, right? This is me right here. Vibe does not understand the trajectory of my change. So, even though I've risen up like this, I've changed right here. I was all the way down here in January, and I'm right up here in June of 2025. And they still are kind of just down here with me. They still think that the old me is still here, right? Which is why they're putting me on hiatus for longer. Which is why they're keeping me away from Vibe. Or at least trying to. I'm not saying they're going to be successful at it. Because honestly, at some point, I might just get a little impatient. Patience will probably run thin, and I'll probably just break in or something like that. You know, because that's just my style right now. It's like that saying, if you can't get what you want, you kind of just got to get it yourself. You know, you can't exactly rely on other people for things. I feel like Vibe's just gonna take up our whole part two now. Unless you got something else you want to ask me. Uh, Anything else, Squa? Do you have like any other questions? Hmm. What happened with you and Jose on Realmix? That's a really good that's a really good philosophy here, because it kind of does tie with like Vibe and KDA combined. Like Realmix was a group that I made after I left King Dragon Artist, after I left Vibe, after I left all that drama behind. And yeah, I made Realmix. I won the Realmix title in MOF, and it was a celebration. I don't know if we can upload the video because it was private back then, but there was a flashback in June of 2024 that I won the Realmix title. I was able to keep it for quite some time. I was able to keep it for 295 days, which is actually a very good record. So yeah, it's been one hell of a run. It's definitely been one hell of a run with Realmix. Even though I was betrayed at the Badlands, but honestly, I do understand their concerns. I did ditch the Realmix title to Big Todd, unfortunately. Big Todd just had more win than I did. He kind of met my match. Like the previous Big Todd I fought was not this strong. This strong Big Todd is just something different. He really is. He's a very worthy opponent, much more worthy than Janite, and I respect the hell out of that guy. He's a really nice dude in person. He's a Southern boy. He knows my style very well. But yeah, I feel like it's been one hell of a run as King Don Associates now. Me and Jake Seek and Mikey, every now and then we go out like in real life and just have like, a little beer and caviar. So yeah, that's kind of what we do. So yeah, it's been one hell of a run, honestly. I feel like not being in Vibe for maybe like a year and a half has kind of motivated me to succeed a little more. It's motivated me to change myself in ways that I didn't even think were possible. Like, look at me. If you looked at me back in June, like I looked like basically a scrawny boxer. Like I was underweight. You know, I looked basically like an alternative to a boxer, kind of. Like I was very underweight, and now look at me, big guns right here. 235 pounds of sheer muscle. So that is just how much I have changed, you know. And honestly, I'm not really going to be breaking into Vibe yet because honestly, if they don't accept my change, then that's just that. I mean, I can always try and break in and see what happens, but ultimately, it's either going to lead to some complications, me being put on hiatus longer, or just outright being banned from Vibe and taken off hiatus and just pretty much banned from the company itself. So I plan on taking this a little strategically. Um, so yeah, I think that ends our interview, right?
Yep, it does.
All right, cool. I'm gonna end this video now. It was an honor being with Squa. I love this new channel, Squa. Now I could talk bullshit about Vibe and talk bullshit about Malik if I ever feel like it. I actually really like this Squa. It's a really good idea. Anyways, it's time to go and it's time to renegade.